pjnet.tv. It is now 9:31 on the East Coast. We are 1 minute late. We have a bumper running. We are recording. We're streaming. Amanda's waiting. Chat room is waiting. Switching to Studio 8 in 5, 4, 3, 2. Well, welcome to pjnet.tv. I hope that it was worth your wait. We are a minute late getting started, but I know that our next guest is worth the wait, and let's not waste any time. Normally you would see Michelle Medlock. That's not Michelle. That is Amanda Flinn. I got a message the other day, folks, from Michelle, apologizing, kind of. She had 2 deadlines she was working on the other day. She got past those, but now can you believe she is now working on a 3rd book under deadline? Apparently you and Michelle kind of know each other.
Yeah, we do a little bit.
How did you meet Michelle?
So
at cheerleading camp?
No. My husband grew up in the same town that she lives in, and so our families kind of know each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so now she's got your number. Michelle is pretty busy. Have you ever noticed that she gets overwhelmed?
Oh, yeah.
Do you do that too?
I don't have quite as much going on as Michelle does.
But you do have a lot. You have a lot going on. Okay, you're a mom, you're a wife, you're an author. You're into yoga. I know that. Are you an instructor?
No, I'm not. I actually am not an instructor. I've thought about it briefly, but never really, just didn't really feel like that was, the call on my life. But I do enjoy the practice, and I do like to practice at home.
Okay. So, all right, so you do yoga at home. Now, when did this yoga thing start?
I've probably been doing yoga at home, probably since the time I was pregnant with my 2nd child. And he is 12, so probably for about 13 years I've been doing it. And I was doing it at studios before. So I was doing it in groups. I wasn't really practicing at home. But then by the time I had my 3rd child, it was just hard to leave the house. So, at that point, you're doing the mom thing. You're running them to and from practice. And I just needed something that I could just walk out of my bedroom and just start doing.
Were you very athletic in high school and all that?
No.
Come on, you look like a track runner or something.
No, all of any kind of athletic skills that I have all came at later in life, like 28 plus. I started like jogging, doing half marathons, like around 28, and then switched over to yoga.
Why?
It's just easier on your body, I think. I think that's what I found.
Amanda, if I tried some of that stuff, I would break in half.
Well, yeah, I did attempt a headstand recently, and it was not pretty.
Did not end well.
It was not good. No, it did not end well.
Yeah, don't do that indoors. Go outside where you've got plenty of room to, you got to keep a social distance of 6 feet from any object.
Oh yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, I thought the couches would catch me and it would be like cushiony, but it was not.
No, and how's the couch doing?
The couch is fine. Couch is fine. I went to the chiropractor. The couch is fine.
All right, so you've made a big deal of yoga. Is that kind of your persona? Is that your brand?
Well, not really. I mean, it's just one of many things that I love, and I think it's just the fact that I've been speaking a lot about it lately. So it's something that I enjoy doing. In our hometown, they do riverfront yoga. That just opened up. They do it all through the summer, and that's just fun. I love to be outside. I love to be by water. You can do it in a group setting. And so I like to do like trendy yoga experiences when I'm not practicing at home. I like to do like goat yoga. I don't know if you've heard of goat yoga.
This is a daggum cult. Is it what?
Like there's puppy yoga. There's like so many different things that you can do yoga with puppies.
It's kind of like there was a day, Amanda, when you could go to a place, a diner or something, and order a cup of coffee.
Uh-huh.
And you would say, coffee. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's, it takes
I know what you're going to say.
So so there's just yoga, then there's river yoga, puppy yoga, but I mean, it's really the same thing, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So there's a yoga club for the river. There's one for the goat lovers. There's, I mean, how far can we go with this? Is there that many yoga practitioners that we can divide them up into ethnic and social and demographic and psychographic and sociographic stratums?
I hope not, because what I really like about yoga is just that it's so inclusive. Like that's kind of the thing with yoga, is that it's so inclusive. It's one of those activities, like, yes, there are people that take it to the next level and they do the headstands and they do all these other inversions and things like that. But really it's a practice that is everyone, every color of skin, every age, every ability. And that's what I love about it. And so I think they just kind of bring in the other stuff just for fun, just for fun.
just for context, you gotta,
yeah.
Well, I guess other groups do the same thing, motorcyclists and, we just change the setting and somehow that changes the experience, just keeps it fresh, right?
Yeah, and just think about like all like the half marathons or the 5Ks. There's like donut dashes, and there's, ones that have beer, ones that have coffee, ones that have, shaving cream. I don't know, color runs, So it's just a way to kind of keep it fun and keep it light.
So yoga, is this, you realize I have no idea what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
You figured that out pretty quick, didn't you? Is this something you do daily, or what's the regimen?
Oh man, I wish I did it daily. I have been in daily practices before. Yoga can be, you can do it on your own. You can follow a video, you can take a class. It's really just a practice of breathing and stretching, flexibility, discipline. It's just the art kind of showing up, is kind of like what I like to call it. And there's so many things in our lives, if we would just show up for them daily, you're going to reap benefit. Benefit from it.
Okay. Now we agree on something. Right. You'll get these people that go to the gym and they will work out intensely.
Right.
Until they really are pushing themselves too far, and you won't see them for a week or two.
Yeah.
And that's not good for you. Losing weight, you can fast and starve yourself for, it's kind of like spiritual growth. We get in trouble and all of a sudden we go running to God. We become very, very spiritual. Boy, our prayer life is up. But when things get better, we back off. So yoga, like many things in life, is more a thing about something you do on a disciplined, regular, intentional basis, right?
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Some days you're gonna feel it, and some days you're not gonna feel it, and some days you love it, and some days you're just gonna show up because that's part of the discipline of it. But do I practice every day? No. I go in seasons where I practice every day, but I stretch and move and bend something every single day, just because I live such, like right now as a full-time writer, I live such a sedentary lifestyle that my body hurts if I sit at the computer all day. So, health benefits that way is just something I like to do just for that. And I used to have an in-home daycare. That's kind of how I got started doing it with kids. And when I had the in-home daycare, I would be stretching and moving my body, and they would imitate me and mimic what I was doing, and I found that they really loved it as well. So it's great for children, see?
There's a lot of people that may see this that are writers, and you referred to writing as a sedentary lifestyle. What advice would you give them? And it would help me as well, because I'm not a writer, but I spend probably 10 to 15 hours a day in front of a computer screen. What benefits is there in yoga or whatever? You got to get away from it.
Oh, you have to get away from it, yeah.
So there's a physical thing, but there's also a mental thing, and there's also a spiritual thing. Let's go there.
Yeah, so I think for first and foremost, just the physical part, I've only been really working as a full-time writer for almost a year. And I've noticed just the amount of like just weight that I'm holding, my posture's changed, and that's just in 1 year of doing it. And so with yoga, what that does is it helps to like open it back up, open your shoulders back up, moves your neck in different positions, stretches out your hips. So for me, that's been really nice. I also we adopted a rescue dog in January, and just getting out and walking her, 1 to 2 times a day, because that's really the only exercise that I'm getting if I'm not choosing to do something else. And so I think for me, then that's a big part of it. I also like to do it in the morning. You talked about the spiritual aspect of yoga. When the house is quiet, that's when I do my best work. I think you're more of a night owl, but like
Absolutely.
I do my best work in the morning time. And so like having that quiet, the house is quiet, there's no interruptions. I can just be still and just be in the presence of God. To me, like that's the spiritual part of it. And that transitions well for me then to read my Bible and listen to worship music and do the other things that I enjoy doing in the morning.
I think of, I'm so ignorant on the subject, and I honestly don't get it. If I understand it right, yoga is actually a solitary activity, right? I mean, it's not a team sport.
Definitely not a team sport, but you can do it with other people. But yeah,
That's what I was wondering. Is why in the world do we have to all get together to do this? I mean, I understand why a football team does, because you have different positions and different, there's functions.
yeah.
But I guess it's like bicycling at the gym. You ever see people, they go to the gym, get on a fake bicycle.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you just ride a bicycle?
Well, I don't know the answer to that. But, I think it's just community. And, why do we go to a church building, for community? Why do we, like run a race with other people? There's that part is like there's competition, but there's also just community of doing it alongside of someone. And some people need that motivation to do that.
Well, there's the accountability. If you're doing it in a group,
the accountability. Mm-hmm.
If you're not there, it's known that you're not there. If you're doing it
Right.
by yourself, you can say you did it. No one knows.
Right.
I do push-ups. I was once a personal trainer. Not very long, because you'll go broke. So I told you this earlier. I am going to give away hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of advice right now, absolutely free. This thing is way overblown. These people don't know that much. 220 is the number to put in your head. Subtract your age. That is approximately 100% of your heart rate. Get to 80% of that number, keep it there 20 minutes. You will start burning fat. Your body doesn't want to burn fat. Did you know that? I mean,
Yeah, mine does not. You're right. Mine does not want to burn fat.
well, no, it does. We are literally engineered to produce and store fat. Go back to the Garden of Eden, or not the Garden of Eden, we've already taken care of. But here's the deal. It used to be, in order to eat, we had to go kill something. Okay?
Yeah.
And not every time you go out to kill something, do you kill something. You come back empty and you don't have anything to eat. So your body, anytime you take in fuel, your body wants to store that as fat because it doesn't know.
When you're going to eat again.
Well, right. It didn't like today. Fat is also a wonderful insulator against cold. Bears know this very well. They hibernate. They gorge themselves and get a lot of fat. Your body wants to store fat. I'm getting a message here that we have lost our connection. I don't see it, but it says we did. But we only lost it there. So we have 3 other destinations. In any event, burning fat, there's a lot of spiritual, there's physical, mental, and spiritual. I know this. When I'm angry, the best thing I can do, and what I recommend others do, go do some exercise.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, we're about to run out of time. You're not just about yoga. You're an author. So what did you write about?
Well, I would say I don't know if you set that up very well. So I did write a book. Just actually published yesterday. It's called Yoga Baby. And like I said, this just made sense to me because I was watching kids in my home and I was doing yoga with them frequently. And so this book is just a really sweet shared experience between a mom and a baby who wake up in the morning and they go to the yoga mat and they do a sequence that's just really fun and interactive and engaging. And then, you know, they proceed through their day. Has a really sweet ending. I don't want to ruin the surprise.
Don't want to ruin it. Okay. So who is this? Is this the cover looks children's book?
Yes, it's a board book. So I mean, really recommended like 0 to age 5. These are great because they have really thick pages, so babies can chew on them. They're hard to destroy.
They can throw up on them.
Yeah, and they wipe clean. Yeah, they're thick cardboard pages. I mean, this is important stuff. So they're thick pages that.
Well, they got to have
clean.
That waxy kind of, repels liquid.
Hey, everybody's Clorox wiping everything right now. You can Clorox wipe these, and they will last forever. So, 0 to 5, it's great for anyone that loves yoga, but also it's just more than that. It's just about a shared experience between a parent and a child. And really you get that shared experience when you're holding the child on your lap and you're reading to them. And then you just get the added benefit of being able to do some wellness activity with them as well.
Yeah. Like send them outside or to the kitchen or wherever that door goes.
Yeah.
This book just now, forgive me. What is this your first book?
This is my debut book. Yes. My first one.
Well, no wonder Michelle didn't have a deadline. She just wanted to step aside and let you have. She made the whole thing up. This is your first book.
She is the sweetest, and she actually contacted me last Wednesday, and I was on an 8-mile hike through the woods, and I was like, I can't do it, but I can do it next week.
Okay. Yeah, she was in. Yeah, I think she'll be over all of her deadlines, and I even. She always wears black. I don't know if you noticed.
I did know that, yeah.
So I wore my black shirt tonight, even though she's not here. Now, what you could have done, I didn't prep you for this. You could have worn leopard, and we would just honor Michelle because between the two of us, that captures her wardrobe. I don't know that she has anything in there that isn't leopard or black. And what was it last time she was on? She had, she's got all these accolades on the wall behind her, and right in the middle of it, one of them just fell.
Oh no!
It was, and of course it said platinum literary, so she holds it up. I said, that is a heck of a stunt. I mean, we would have put a plug in for your company. You didn't have to do all that. It probably had a little, tripwire, and she had somebody pull it to make it fall and that kind of thing. So, in the chat room, you see a link to Amazon where you can find Amanda's book, but you can also go to her website, and that would be amandaflinn.com. It's not that hard to spell. Flinn, that sounds, what, Irish?
Irish, yeah.
But that's your married name.
That is my married name, yeah.
But you got that kind of Irish look to you,
You think?
Oh, there was one thing Michelle asked us to go over. There are some people out there that think that yoga and Christianity are just kind of at odds. Would you like to just put that to rest?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I recently wrote, Michelle and I were talking about this because I recently wrote a blog post about this. I never really questioned it. Like I said, I've been doing yoga for 13 or so years. I've never really questioned it. My faith always comes first. And I was using it just as a physical practice to make my body feel good and to, exercise, to stretch, and to lose weight. But I'm also very open with my faith online, on social media, on my website, and I also run an online ministry. And so people know that, I follow Jesus. And so when I had started promoting this book, I had a few people reach out, I would say probably 5 to 6, and just say like, hey, like just questioning, like, do you think that it's okay? Not questioning me, but just wanting to have an honest, open discussion about
a sincere question, you mean?
Yeah, sincere question, not like
they
not
weren't
critical.
Confronting or challenging. They were seeking truth.
Yeah, they were just, hey, I've heard, that yoga is kind of against Christianity or goes against, what we believe is Jesus followers or whatever. And it just led to some really awesome discussions with people, and not to try to change anyone's mind on it. And it really comes down to, I think, your motives and checking your heart, like the condition of your heart, like what are your reasons for doing it. most people, especially, in the United States, are doing yoga because they want the physical benefit of yoga.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think at any time, if you ever feel conflicted or you feel like God's convicting you on something that you're practicing, whether it's yoga or something you're watching on TV or something you're reading.
Well, what about karate? I mean, I think the objection or the confusion or the cognitive dissonance, whatever, is the origins of yoga or Hindu from that region that is predominantly Hindu, just as martial arts originated in the Orient, in China. Somehow, and and the people that practice it over there incorporate it into their spirituality, perhaps.
Exactly.
So there's an assumption or there's a caution that might be raised in your mind, but you have never thought of it that way. The people you're involved with don't pressure you to believe something other than what you profess.
Right. Yeah, I've never been in a class where I felt uncomfortable. If they speak of light or if they speak of source, to me, like, I know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never questioned that. And I think it's great. I think so many people are fearful of things that they don't know or that they don't understand or something that's different. And I think that yoga is so inclusive. God created all of us, and I think that He's in all things. And I don't think that we need to be scared of those things, but we do need to be cautious with anything that we do.
Yeah, it's not a cult. It's not a spiritual thing. It's for most people. It's like you're using it as a physical form of therapy, exercise. Anyway,
therapy. That's good. Therapy.
I'll tell you what's therapeutic. If you ever get too old for that, motorcycle riding is very therapeutic. Okay, it's. For me, it's a form of
No, I have heard that. I'm not into it, but I'm not going to say never, because you just never know. You never know what you're going to do. You
don't know. But push yourself, and you've stayed in shape. I'm not going to ask you how old you are. You've conceded that you have children in their teens.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Okay. And we'll just leave that one alone. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Amanda, not only thanks for filling in, thanks for sharing with us. I mean, it's been a real eye-opener for me, and I personally probably could not be persuaded to do that any more than you could be persuaded to do some of the things that I do. But it is good to know. As a writer, as a person, we need to have something to put us in tune with God, and if yoga is how you accomplish that, I'm all for it. And for me, I like to just go outside and watch the geese.
We like that too. We like bird watching at our house. Yeah.
Now you're from the South, right?
Like southeastern Missouri.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Tennessee or something like that. But that's. I don't know that I've ever been to your state. But come on down to Florida. Our previous guest had been to many states except Florida, so I want to encourage everybody to come to Florida, where we have mosquitoes the size of pigeons. Okay, we use our shotguns for target practice on mosquitoes, and we have great beaches. But Amanda, thanks for filling in, and thank you for sharing about your book. Thanks for sharing about your faith. Thanks for making us all more comfortable with these people that contort their bodies, and I would break in half. Anyway,
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
All right, it was fun. Thanks, Amanda. Well, folks, you won't see Coach Prasick doing any yoga. All right, but as athletes, let me tell you about flexibility. Okay, flexibility is one of your best protections against injury. See, think of a twig, okay? A dead twig. If you bend it, it snaps because it's not flexible. But if you take a live twig, you can bend it and it does not snap. So there's two things to reduce the possibility of injury in a real sport such as football, okay? One is flexibility, the other is strength. Your muscles, okay, are actually shock absorbers to your bones. It's fact. God is a great engineer, I promise you, and humans are the crowning glory of his achievement here on this earth. We are made in his image, and we are well engineered. Folks, you are engineered for a purpose. Your purpose was not to sit here and watch pjnet.tv. Your purpose is to share the gospel and to make disciples. That's what we're told. So please, charge your batteries, but don't forget. I'll leave you with 2 questions because it is time to go. The first question is this, and it's very serious. You don't have to answer me. What is the boldest thing that you have ever done for Jesus Christ? Think about that. Here's the second question. How long ago was that? The challenge I hope that you'll consider and accept is to never be satisfied with either answer.